we're going to be doing a seated stretch. So let's go ahead and get started. Sitting up nice and tall, pressing your feet together, grabbing onto your ankles, not your feet, because we don't want to sickle our ankles. So grabbing onto your ankles, you're going to sit up tall. Nice deep breath. Good. And from here, you can either use your elbows or your hands. You're going to put gentle pressure onto your knees. Good. Shoulders are down. Make sure you're breathing. Okay, taking your hands back to your ankles. We're going to take our head to the left. Do a nice stretch, pushing your right shoulder down. And then switching to the other side. Pushing your left shoulder down. Good. You can close your eyes, just make sure you're breathing. And then coming back up. Now I want you to look over towards your right knee, and I want you to drop your head down and push down your left shoulder. Good. And coming back up, you're going to look towards your left, look down towards your left knee, and push your right shoulder down. Make sure you're breathing. Sitting up tall. Good. And coming up, last thing, keeping your neck, your back tall and straight. You're going to drop your head down, stretching the top of your neck. Good. And then rolling it back. From here, with a flat back, I want you to hinge from your hips and walk it forward as far as you can go. Make sure you're breathing. If you want to extend a little bit farther, go a little bit farther out as you exhale. So do a nice inhale and exhale farther. Good. So you go ahead and extend forward as far as you can, taking the weight off of the elbows, taking the tailbone to the back wall. And then we're going to walk our hands back in, sitting up tall. Good. Now from here, I'm going to go ahead and have you contract. So we are sitting on top of our sit bones. I'm going to have you take your pelvis under. You're going to roll your pelvis under, pulling your navel in towards your spine, and then rolling it back and sitting up tall. Good, let's go ahead and do it again. Contract. And this time, I want you to round over a little bit more. And then reversing the movement, starting with your pelvis. Let's do it one more time. Contract, pulling your navel in towards your spine. Good. And then starting with your pelvis, rolling it forward. And sitting up nice and tall. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and keep your left foot in, extending your right leg out in front of you. Your knee and your foot is facing the ceiling, hips are squared off, and we're going to walk it forward as far as you can go, keeping a flat back. Make sure you're breathing. And then exhale and go a little bit farther into the stretch, taking the tailbone out behind you. Do a nice inhale. And exhale and go down as far as you can go. Good. And then walking it back in. And we're going to switch to the other side. So bringing our right leg in, extending out our left leg, knee and ankle. Feet are facing the ceiling, sitting up nice and tall. Walking over with a flat back. Nice long necks. Inhale. And exhale, walk a little bit farther. Extending your tailbone out to that back wall. Inhale, and exhale, go down as far as you can go. Nice long lines, pushing through your heel. And then we're going to walk it back up, taking both legs out this time. And if you need to do this one with softened knees, you can, or if you need to sit up on a cushion or a towel, you can do that as well. So sitting up tall. Feet are flexed. You can either have them together or a little bit closer hip width apart. Taking the arms up head. You're going to lift up out of your rib cage, flat back. And then reach a little bit farther. And then go ahead and take your hands forward to your shins or your feet or as far down as you go. And now what you do is actually grab onto your calves or your ankles and think about pulling your chest forward. Good. So think about lengthening through your lower back. And from here, go ahead and round over, dropping your head. Going down as far as you can go. Extending those arms out. Now grabbing onto your ankles again. I want you to think about pushing your lower back towards your knees and coming up to a flat back. And then walking it back in. Let's do it again. Arms up over your head. Lifting up out of your ribs. Reaching forward. Tailbone to that back wall. Taking the arms down as far down as you can go. Grabbing onto your ankles. Pulling yourself forward. Gentle pressure, remember. And then rounding it over. Good, reversing the movement. Coming up to a flat back. And then sitting up tall. Let's go ahead and do it one more time. This time I want you to go ahead and point those feet. Lifting up, extending forward from the hips. Make sure that your ankles aren't flopping open. Your knees and your ankles are facing the ceiling. Taking those hands down. Grabbing onto your ankles, pulling yourself forward. Nice long necks. Rolling forward. Rounding forward. And then you're going to round up. And sitting up tall. Good. Okay, facing me, facing the front. Go ahead and keep your right leg out and flex that foot. You're going to have your left foot bent, your left leg bent, and in front of you. So sitting up tall, we're going to go ahead and walk ourselves forward. Now make sure that this right leg is turned out. Don't let it come forward. Okay, so resting yourself on your elbows. And then we're going to walk over towards our right leg. Try to extend, lengthen out through your back, keeping your hips evenly placed on the floor. And then I want you to go ahead and point your foot and round over. And then walking it up, we're going to go ahead and switch to the other side. So bend in your right leg, extend out your left leg, flex your foot, sitting up nice and tall. Weight is equally distributed. If you need to have your leg farther forward, you can do that. Do whatever is best for you. So we're going to go ahead and walk forward the flat back. Now this is as far as you can go, that's completely fine, because I'd rather you be up here with the flat back and stretching through than hunched over, rounded over, and farther down, okay? So because we're extending out through the lower back, and it's stretching through the inner thigh. And then we're going to walk over to the side. If you need to come up a little bit more, you can. Usually one side is more flexible than the other. That's totally natural. Make sure you're breathing. And then we're going to go ahead, point your foot and round over. Make sure that that leg is still turned out. And walking it up. This time we're going to go ahead and extend both legs out. If you need to bring your legs in, you can do that. Again, sitting up on top of a small pillow or a towel, bend your knees, whatever's best for you, or extend it out farther if you do have the flexibility to do so. Now make sure that your knees and your feet are upright or turned back. Don't let them rotate in. You need to have everything turned out and back. Sitting up nice and tall. I'm going to have you flex your feet this time, and then we're simply going to walk it out forward as far as you can go. Make sure you're breathing. We're going to stay in this stretch just for a little bit. And take a deep breath and exhale. As you exhale, go ahead and go down a little bit farther. And exhale, go down a little bit farther still. As far as you can go. Stay here for just a moment. And then point your feet.
Make sure you're breathing. Relax into the stretch. I want you to go ahead and walk your hands up,
Flex your feet again, and we're going to walk over towards your right leg, making sure your left leg is still turned out. Take a deep breath, and we're going to come down just a little bit. Don't let that left leg turn in. Feet are still flexed. Good. And coming up, we're going to walk over towards your left foot. Walking it down. Making sure your right leg is still turned out. And walking it up. Now, if you went quite wide, you may need to soften your knees, my legs are skating, and shake your legs in. And that's completely fine. Sitting up tall, you're going to do a nice back stretch really quick. So pulling your knee in to your chest, right knee in, sitting up tall. And you can either keep your leg here, or you can cross it over the center line from there. Good. Now I want you to take a big breath. Inhale. And as you exhale, I want you to take your right arm back and stretch towards the back. Make sure you're breathing. Coming back forward, you can either stay here, we're going to make it a little bit harder. You're going to bring your left leg in, bend it in, sitting up tall. Go just a little bit farther. You're going to cross your knees over. If you can do this, you don't have to. Both of your sit bones on the ground and lying forward. Good. And coming up, taking the top leg off, extending out the bottom leg, and we're going to reverse it. So bring your left leg in, sitting up tall. You're breathing, and either stay here or cross it over. Good. Okay, you're going to inhale and exhale as you twist and stretching out, looking at the opposite arm to the back. So my left arm is back. Ease into this. You don't have to go very far to get a good stretch. And then coming back around, either stay here or bring that bottom right leg in, sitting up nice and tall. And then bring the leg completely crossed if you can. Make sure you're sitting on both of your sit bones and laying forward. Make sure you're breathing. Don't hold your breath. And coming in. Okay, we're going to go ahead and lay back. And coming on your mat, go ahead and grab your right knee. Pull your right knee in towards your chest. Good. If you need to have your bottom leg bent, you can do that, or you can have it extended out. Okay, from here, extend your right leg up to the ceiling. You can grab your foot, your calf, your ankle, or even behind your thigh. And then you're going to flex your foot, bend it in. And then point, extend it up. Okay. We're going to do that again. Flex, bend it in. And then point and extend it up. Good. Bring your knee in. You're going to cross along your center line. Cross your leg all the way over, opening your arms up wide, and then look towards the opposite side. So your right leg should be crossed over to the left, and you're going to be looking over toward your right side. Just breathe into the stretch. Now, if you want to stay here, or make it a little bit harder, you can extend out that right leg. And if you want to make it a little bit harder, go ahead and flex both of your feet. A little bit more of a stretch. Good. Go ahead and soften that knee pulling it back around. We're going to go to a figure 4 stretch. So bring your left knee up, cross your right leg over, reaching through and pulling it in. Make sure you're breathing. When you do this stretch, make sure that your foot is on the other side of your thigh, because if it's on top of it, you're sickling your foot. We don't want to do that. So make sure it's the side of your shin, the side of your calf, it's your ankle that's resting on there. Good. Now we're going to go ahead and keep our left knee in, extend out our right leg. Make sure you're breathing. And taking your hand on your ankle, your calf, or your thigh, lifting it up, extending it up, pointing that foot. Go ahead and flex your foot, bring it in. And point, extend up. Go ahead and do it one more time, flex. And then point, extend up. Good, bend your knee in, crossing it over the center line, looking over towards your left arm. Just relax. Make sure you're breathing. If you want to make it a little bit harder, go ahead and extend out. Extend that leg out in front of you. Good. Breathing into it. And to do a little bit more, you can flex your feet. Good. Go ahead and soften your knee. Coming back around to the front. Bring your right leg up, figure 4 stretch. Using your same arm as leg on your elbow to go ahead and push that knee out. Now remember to make sure that your foot is on the opposite side of the leg so you're not sickling your foot. And go ahead and drop that leg down. We're going to roll over onto our stomach for a little bit of a swan. So taking your hands by your sides, by your chest, you're going to extend out from your neck and lifting up. Good. Now there's not any energy on my arms. And back in. Let's do it again. And lifting out and up. Now remember, no energy. Now if you wanted to do a cobra, you'd push down onto the arms to lift up some more, but here there's just no pressure. Okay, you can either stay here or plant your hands by your chest and lifting up. Good. Okay, pushing up to all fours. Going to round up into the cat-cow stretch. And passing through neutral. And lifting up again. Make sure you're breathing. Good. Let's do it one more time. Rounding it up. And passing through neutral. Good. Coming back to neutral. Go ahead and sit back on your heels for child's pose. Reaching long. Nice deep breath. Think about really expanding through your ribs. Good. You're going to rotate your hands in so your palms are facing the ceiling. This will help stretch out through the shoulders. And then go ahead and bend your elbows, and you're going to place your hands on your back, on the back of your shoulder blades. Good. Go ahead and take your hands around, holding onto your feet. You can put your face on one side to the other. Breathe into it. You can open your knees up a little bit more if you want. And just relax here. You're breathing, don't hold your breath. Bring your hands back around front. Slowly rolling up. And you guys are done. Thank you so much for joining me. We'll see you again next time.